Yeah, get up here.
Let me know when my sister goes by, because I can't really tell.
What are we doing? What do you do?
Oh my god, look at Bold.
Dork.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
You're insane. I'm afraid to ask.
There goes Joe.
George, get Tom too. George. George. George, get Tom too. George.
Timo. Oh.
Seems like she'll be coming in a minute.
Here comes her name, Brenda. This is her name.
That guy's in my drafting class.
Yeah, what's his name?
I don't know. He's a nice guy.
He's the last one. George. This is a picture of the girl. Oh, there's Terry. Terry. Landis.
Hey, Mom. 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 Should I turn this off now?
Dr. Green, Mr. Hooper, faculty, parents, friends, and classmates. I am proud to stand before you tonight as a representative of the class of 1990. This day that we all have been waiting for so many years, has finally arrived. It is a time for celebration. It is a time to look ahead to all of the exciting opportunities that await us. But most importantly, I think, it is a time for reflection. Our years at Southern Lehigh have shaped us into young men and women with individual personalities. There was one common thread, however, that binds us together, our memories. It is these shared memories in time of our childhood and young adult lives that have formed our special bond. And it is these memories that we will carry with us. Some of us have just become acquainted during the past 4 years, but many of us have grown up together and strengthened our friendships with each passing year. Some of us share the excitement and wonder of our very first day of elementary school. Our circle widened as the students from the 4 elementary schools merged into one in middle school, and our class was formed. Then, together we made that big and somewhat frightening leap across the road to the high school to become the class of 1990. It is ironic, now that we have finally found a comfortable place with each other and within the school, that it is time for us to go our separate ways. As we are adjusting to our lives after high school, we can find comfort in the images of our past. Our thoughts may drift back to a blazing homecoming bonfire, riding the bus to VOTEC, gossiping during lunch, having a tug of war with an overstuffed locker, or watching the clock tick ever so slowly on a Friday afternoon. Or our most treasured memories may be of a first date, a special boyfriend or girlfriend, the prom, our class trip, or finally, graduation night. It is not that these experiences are unusual or rare that make them special, but rather the fact that they are ours. As Alan Lane McGinnis says, each of us is the accumulation of our memories. We have not created these images alone. Our families, teachers, and community friends have all contributed to our growth in some way. There are certain individuals who provided each of us with support and encouragement. But there is one special person who has guided our entire class and helped to shape the memories that we share. She is Mrs. Beverly Bradley, our class advisor. Mrs. Bradley, we will carry images of your bright smile and enthusiasm with us for a long time. We have had the good fortune to be guided by many caring members of our faculty. You, our teachers, have not only given us knowledge in the classroom, but you have helped us to create memories on the sports field, on the stage, or in numerous other activities. We will especially remember the time you spent listening to our concerns. And finally, you, our families, have been an integral part of all of our experiences. You have shared in our failures as well as our successes. You have watched our circle of friends grow and change. You have laughed at our childhood antics, suffered through our adolescent romances, walked thousands of miles chauffeuring us to practices and rehearsals, cheered us from the sidelines, and prayed that this evening would be added to our memories. So the history of our class, like a collage, is a blending of images of people, places, and events. Our history has been recorded, one chapter at a time, as we have moved from one new experience to another. Tonight, as we receive our diplomas, turn our tassels, and celebrate together our accomplishments, we are writing the final chapter in the memory book of the Southern Lehigh class of 1990. Although time may change us and distance may separate us, we will always be bound together by the special memories that we have shared. Thank you.
Our next speaker is also... Good evening, friends and relatives of the graduating class of 1990, and also good evening to my fellow classmates. Congratulations, we have finally made it. Tonight's exercises are a reflection of our past 4 years of high school. So let's take a look back into the past. Let's remember our experiences and learn from our mistakes. We must be reminded of our trying times as fresh people 4 years ago. Of course, being God-fearing students in the school instilled terror and trepidation in all of us. But why? Maybe it was because we feared what the unknown might have in store for us. We feared the thought of getting lost in such a large school. Or maybe it was that senior barbarian of the football squad who threatened to physically dismember each and every one of us if we didn't sing the alma mater in total disharmony. Or maybe we were intimidated by a more rigorous course load. We thought of thinking about our own futures. Yes, it was indeed a most heinous and unprecedented time. Luckily, despite initially being timid and shy, we learned the tricks of the trade and experienced many pleasantries and unpleasantries throughout high school. Fear was no longer a factor in our lives. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom, Earl Russell once stated. You see, believe it or not, we have acquired a bit of wisdom during our lives here at Southern Lehigh. We have learned from our past experiences, whether they be memorable or not. Perhaps we perceive the past as a diary in our minds. On one entry, we might read about the horrific news of the death of a fellow classmate, James Roberts, who died of leukemia in May of 1987. As we reflect upon his death, let us seriously think about our own lives. Let us ponder the thought of what the future will have in store for us, or what effect we will have upon the future. And most importantly, let us be grateful for our futures, and let us strive to make a difference. And as I read from an entry in my diary, I think I speak for the class when I say, we miss you, Jimmy, and wish that you could be here with us. Another entry in the diary might recognize the simple fact that we learn so much from our friends. I sincerely believe that we acquire 50% of our education from school, and the other 50% of our education from our friends. Sometimes in today's society, we all seem to rush and create most egregiously secular goals. I was one of society's victims. I thought only of power and money, but one of my classmates quickly convinced me that my views of success was ill-defined. Valerie Beaver wrote to me, success can't be measured by money, power, or fame, but by happiness, love, and satisfaction. I think that we should all consider and remember Val's advice when we go out into the real world, whether we leave for college, work, or technical school. We should also remember the advice of our parents. They gave so much to see the transition of their small, helpless babes into young men and women. I know that my parents sacrificed a great deal for me. So we, as sons and daughters, must thank our parents and say, I love you, Mom and Dad, for everything that you have done for me. And so we have come a long way down the road and are prepared to meet the challenges of the real world. But please keep in mind a few pieces of advice. First, please be able to accept and take criticism constructively. Otherwise, don't accost anyone, don't talk to anyone, and don't do anything. Because if you do, you are only exposing yourself to criticism. Also, never quit. Perseverance is the key to success in any field. The class of 1990 contains future doctors, lawyers, sports stars, musicians, artists, engineers, actors, actresses, and yes, maybe even a president. But without perseverance, we cannot get things done. Finally, as we all leave here tonight, we must never forget the past, because it has given us the experience to challenge the future. A bit of wisdom is already with us as we proceed through the transition of a sheltered life to an unsheltered life. And in closing, I just want to leave you with these words by Gordon Sumner, who said, "A lesson once learned is so hard to forget." God bless you and thank you.
When I say to you, make a difference, what sort of feelings does that inspire? If I asked you how you measure success, what would you say? If I wanted to know what you hope to accomplish in your life, how would you reply? Some people aspire to be wealthy. Some want a mass accumulation of material possessions. Some hope to become famous. Some would like to dedicate themselves to a humanitarian cause. And some would rather just lead a simple and quiet existence. No matter what it is you hope to become, no matter what your dreams are, I urge you to consider something, regardless of where you are or what you do. Make a difference and do it in a positive way. Whether you make a difference to thousands or to just one person, do something, accomplish something that will inspire, motivate, or just make people think. To make a difference, you need not invent a cure for AIDS. You don't need to find world peace. You may try to reach millions of people, but you only need to affect one person to make a difference. By changing that person's opinion about something, by being by that person's side when they are down is enough, or by making that person happier. Imagine this world if everyone took the time to make a difference in at least one person's life. Songwriter and performer John Lennon once said, "Imagine all the people sharing all the world. It's easy if you try." By making a difference, you cannot remain isolated. Too often, people hide in their own little worlds, concerned only with what will benefit themselves. Consequently, they hardly consider what their actions might do to others. We should first consider the reciprocations. We should think before we act. We have spent most of the last 4 years making a difference to ourselves, and we will continue to for the rest of our lives. Just by graduating from high school, we have shown that we can achieve personal goals. However, we should not lose sight of the fact that we would all be very lonely people if we only considered ourselves. Judging by the amount of brotherhood and love that many of us feel for our friends and families, we have indeed already made a difference in their lives. Always consider yourself an individual with something important to say. Many people would prefer to do the easy thing and follow the crowd, conform to society. But making a difference to someone may involve something risky. You may have to go out on a limb, and in doing so, expose yourself to criticism. However, would we get anywhere by keeping the same attitudes? By remaining close to what we've been told is the correct way to do things? By not vocalizing our opinions? To make a difference is to react with your own heart and mind. Don't lose sight of all those who have made a difference to you. I think all of us can remember a friend who was particularly meaningful, a teacher who really made us think, or a parent who has influenced the course of our lives. These people are the ones who have brought us this far. They have made a difference in our lives. Today, we must start to repay the favor. If you're going to make a difference, you cannot put it off to the future. Never allow yourself to say that you can make a change later, that you can do something different next time. We will all learn from our mistakes, and only experience can stop us from making them. But you must first understand that today is as good a day as any to start. The infamous Professor Harold Hill once said, "Pile up enough tomorrows, and you'll find you've collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays." I'm going to take a little bit of my own advice, and begin by trying to make a difference to everyone here today. I would like to recite a short poem which was found inside Old St. Paul's Church in Baltimore. Desiderata is dated back to 1692. This poem has special significance because it reminds me of someone who made quite a difference in my family's life. Kirsten Diane Miller is my older sister. She was Down syndrome and passed away when I was scarcely 3 years old. Despite the mental and physical challenges she had to overcome, she always succeeded in at least bringing a smile to everyone's face. Her memory will always be a reminder that you don't have to be perfect to make a difference. The poem reads, "Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible, without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and the ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter. For always, there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself. Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career. However humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself, especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune. But do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond the wholesome disappointment, be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be. And whatever your labors and aspirations, in the noisy confusion of life, keep peace with your soul. With all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams, it is still a beautiful world. Be careful, strive to be happy. In short, everyone here is a person who deserves the best that life can offer. And I think we all bring a lot of happiness into our lives by inspiring pleasure in other people. Therefore, affect someone and live with the joy of knowing that you have made a difference.
From Link Beverages for an Entrepreneur, David E. Goff. From Lutron Electronics Company for Proficiency in Advanced Physical Science, Ho-San Chang. Dean Wesley Carter. Lynn Ann Pichette. Ho-San Chang. Vicky Sue Montefalsky. Brett Ellsworth Cole. Jeffrey Herbert Cook. Deborah Louise Cole. John Thomas Gardner Jr. Krista Lee Gaiman. Shannon Louise Garrett. J. Bradley Gibbon. Laurel Catherine Allen. Christine Marie Hamilton. Teresa Marie Harvey. Wendy Sue Harding. Harlan.
She's having a whole conversation with Mrs.
Brian Heston Harmon. Charles Franklin Hart. James William Hart. Brett Harold Harwin. Michelle Marie House. Kimberly Killo. Stephen Bob Fitzgerald.
You could see him in the background.
Emo Skillar. Marie Cuff. Dory Ann Kohler. Richard Paul Cozy Jr. Gary Henry Swank Jr. Thomas Joseph Senkow. Ty Jason Summers.
Plus some green shirts.
Natalie Maureen Swackhammer. Stone Yeager. Lisa Ann Yeager. Stephanie C. Yeagle. And Michael Zellner. It is now my privilege to present the president of the class of 1990, Tim Harlan. Before I begin, I'd just like to say, Mom is always taking care of me, and you really should have pushed the long handshake, because I'm freezing out there. Before I begin with my portion of the ceremony, I'd like to take time out to quote a line from a song written by a man named Pete Townsend.
Right.
This song, I feel, illustrates the brotherhood, love, and friendship our class has towards one another. A friend is a friend. Nothing can change that. Arguments, squabbles, can't break the contract that each of you makes to the death, to the end. Deliver your future into the hands of your friend. I'd now like to introduce my fellow officers of the class of 1990. First off is the vice president of the class, my right-hand woman, if you want to. So I wouldn't have been able to work without Miss April Stagger-Lee Rice. Next is my beautiful treasurer, who, by the way, arrived here today in a brand new BMW. I don't know where she got the money, but Miss Michelle Hausman. And lastly, my partner in crime, the secretary of the class of 1990, the one, and thank God the only, Chris Germain. And now, I'd like to call up to the podium the chairperson of the class gift committee, Miss Susan Goss, to present this year's contribution.
and caring to the students of Southern Lehigh. Each year she puts hours of work into the graduation ceremony to make sure that everything is just right. The class of 1990 would like to thank Mrs. Elaine Weiser for all of her hard work. And for their congratulations to our graduates. At this time, we would like to present her with a token of our appreciation. At this time, I would like to present the class gift, which is $1,000 for landscaping to be done outside of the main entrance to the high school, and a plaque to Mr. Hooper.
Thank you, Sue. And now I'd like to call on April Rice for a very special presentation.
Every year, a class enters Southern Lehigh with the hopes of being the most successful graduating class. In order to accomplish this aspiration, it is necessary to be guided by one who possesses all of the qualities that we wish our class to reflect. It has been very fortunate for the class of 1990 to be guided by the caring, compassionate, supporting individual, Mrs. Beverly M. Bradley. She possesses the knowledge needed to organize a class, the kindness and understanding which is necessary for her students to relate to her, and the strength to have gained the respect of the student body. To honor Mrs. Bradley this evening, I am presenting her, on behalf of the graduating class of 1990, a token of our love and our appreciation.
He's a piece of work, that dude.
I don't know how I'm going to follow that out. All right. And now, will my fellow classmates please rise? Join me in the traditional gesture of moving these tassels. On the count of three, guys. Are you ready? 1, 2, 2.5, 3. At this time, we invite our families and friends to please rise and join in the singing of our alma mater.
This is the one opportunity I have to extend to the class of 1990 my own congratulations and best wishes, and also to express my appreciation to the members of the committee who helped to plan with me the service for seniors. Each year's service for graduates is a little bit different because it bears the character and the stamp of the particular graduating class. This is a very special year because the committee itself and the senior class showed us something of their special character in their memory for Jimmy Roberts, one of their classmates. And so the offering at this year's service for graduates was donated to the Jimmy Roberts Memorial Scholarship Fund. This was the largest offering that's ever been received at a community service for graduates by far. And it gives me pleasure to present this check for $493 to Mr. Hooper. Let us pray. As we leave this place of celebration, Lord God, be with us. Help those who have